Good morning. Happy Monday, freshmen. I just wanted to get on here. I told you guys I would have some stuff for you guys Monday morning. So I wanted to get on here and explain what I have for you. Talk about kind of what we did last week. Just kind of go over everything with you guys. The first thing that I want to continue to talk about is communication. You guys are doing pretty good, but I have a few of you that are not answering the questions that I'm putting out there. I have a few of you that are not communicating really consistently. And I need you guys to be communicating. It's really hard for me to know where you're at if I don't know if you're not talking to me. So if that's shooting me a quick email, some of you guys have been really good about it. I just wanted to throw this out for those couple of you that have been kind of working behind the scenes or not working behind the scenes. So I need to get that communication going with you guys, whether it's email, whether it's comments, whatever. You guys need to make sure that you're staying in touch with me one way or the other, okay? I need to have some contact with you guys every 2 to 3 days, okay? So shoot me an email if it's not time to turn in an assignment or whatever, okay? I'm gonna be trying to do some online discussions through like the question format. I think you guys can comment on each other's answers to questions when you do like a class comment, and then you can comment on each other's either questions or your answers, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try to set up a couple of those kinds of things this morning or this week, I guess. The other thing I want to remind you guys is that your final of your poem, I need you guys to get that submitted to that Dropbox. There is still Blake, Isaiah, and Brennan. You guys had not turned in your final poem yet. You need to get that turned in today, please. The feedback there, those of you that did turn it in, we have feedback. I think aside from one of you guys, Dave Casario went in and gave you feedback, and for the most part it was like, you guys did a really good job, this is the poem that you need to submit, that kind of thing. So just keep that in mind. You can go back and take a look at that, and the 3 of you guys that have not submitted your final poem, I need you to get that done, please. The journal, I have a couple of you guys that still did not get that turned in, so if you could please get that turned in to me. And the mythology essay, I think there's only like one of you guys that didn't get that turned in. So get it turned in, you guys. I'm going to be grading them today, tomorrow, and trying to get those grades in the grade book. So get it into me so I can get it graded, okay? In terms of the mythology story that we read, I am going to do a question for that. I'll have instructions there, but I'm going to have you guys, I'll probably put a question on there. You'll have to have like a response to that. And then like one question yourself, and you'll have to respond like to 2 people. I'll put instructions on the question when I do that, but be looking for that today, okay? I want you guys to stay on top of the things that I'm giving you, so that you're not overwhelmed trying to do it all in one day, which is what I found last week. A ton of people trying to do everything that I assigned for like a week and a half to get it done in like on Friday, and that's not practical. If I'm giving you guys like a week to do something, I'm expecting you guys to be working on it consistently throughout the week, so it's not you spending 3 hours on it on Friday, okay? The independent book project, I had a few of you guys that still have not submitted your book and your project. Some of you guys said you weren't showing your project yet. I'm okay with that. We will be coming back around to that probably next week. On Friday, I will do something in terms of that, and in terms of the independent book project, just so we can keep that consistency with Friday being our independent book project day. It'll probably be a question, progress report, something like that, okay? So that's kind of where we've been, what we've been working on, and now let's talk about this week, okay? Like I said in the video last week, we need to get going and wrap up Romeo and Juliet. I was really hoping that we would be back in school and we would be able to do it together. Obviously, that's not the case, so we're gonna do it a little bit different. You guys are going to be reading Act 5. I have put on there like materials, kind of links. At the top of that is the No Fear Shakespeare. So you have the original on one side and the modern translation of it on the other side. I want you guys to read Act 5 like that so that you have the modern translation right next to it. Don't give up on the like Shakespeare side of it. Don't just leave that alone. Look at both of them, okay? So you're not just reading the No Fear Shakespeare side of it, because you're missing out on a lot of like the nuance in the language and the beauty of Shakespeare if you do that. So I want you guys to make sure you're looking at both of those. I gave you the link to that in there. The other thing that I did was give you guys some different videos. I gave you, I think, one clip of scene 1 and one clip of scene 2, and then I gave you guys a couple of different versions of scene 3 where Romeo and Juliet die. So watch those different ones. I did give you guys one ballet, and the filming of it is really not good, but I thought it was worth it for you guys to see that other adaptation of it, kind of like what we were doing in class. I didn't look up Romeo and Juliet. I don't remember how Romeo and Juliet ends. I'll look that up and see if I can find a link for you guys there. I want you guys to have it read by Wednesday, okay? So you have a couple of days to get the reading of Act 5 done, and then I'll probably have another like discussion, question, that kind of thing on Google Classroom on Wednesday. I am going to be posting something, at least one thing every day for you guys to look at. I want you guys checking Google Classroom every day to see what I've posted, okay? I'll try to do it between 8 and 9 in the morning so you guys can kind of have that consistency. While you're reading also, I want you guys to be thinking about the characters. Think characters, how are they changing, how are they evolving? Obviously, we're not going to be able to finish the character mapping that you guys were doing in class. So I want you to think about those characters and how they've evolved, and the importance and the effect that they have on the play, on the other characters, and on the themes that Shakespeare is trying to present. I want you to be thinking about the different themes that are present. I want you to think about the deaths, who all dies in this play, and why do they die, and how do they die, and when do they die. And then I want you to think literary devices. Again, all of those literary device sheets that you guys were working on are in the classroom. So we're not going to worry about that right now. If I'm able to go to the classroom, I'll try to do that and take pictures and send you guys so you can work on that. If not, then we're just going to roll with it. But I do want you guys to be thinking about the literary devices that you see throughout Shakespeare. I will, one of the things that I'll post will be on literary devices in Romeo and Juliet. So there's that. I also am posting today a take-home final for Romeo and Juliet. Basically, it has a little bit of line recognition. It has some looking at text and analysis of text. It has some like writing about themes, has some writing about deaths, about the different deaths. Basically, it's just kind of an overall look at Romeo and Juliet, and for me to see kind of where you guys are at with understanding of it and that kind of thing. What I'm going to ask of you guys, yes, you can use the text. Obviously, you're going to have to look up axiom line number on a couple things. So yes, you can use the text. Yes, you can use any notes that you have. What I don't want you guys to do is just go and Google search the question and just try to find the answer. That doesn't give me, or it doesn't give me any information, really. It just shows me that you know how to Google. So don't do that. Everything needs to be in your own words. Give me explanations. Make sure you're reading the instructions for the questions that I'm giving you, and go from there. Okay. Wednesday, I'll be posting another video with some discussion. I told you guys I would put some sort of a discussion question out there. So I'll be posting a video on Wednesday for you guys talking about Shakespeare, talking about Romeo and Juliet too. The take-home final will be due on Friday. Okay, so I think that kind of lays it all out. Obviously, I will always also put this into kind of a written format attached to here as well, so that if you need those reminders, kind of that checklist or kind of what we talked about in a different format, I will have that for you too. The one thing I wanted to kind of have you guys do is make sure that you're recapping what happened up to Act 5. Don't just go in and cold start reading it. When we read in class, we always go and talk about what happened in the last act. And so that if you guys remember, we have in Act 4 complications because they wrote Juliet's dad basically promised Paris that she would marry him in a couple of days. She obviously sees a problem with this because she's already married to Romeo. So she goes to the friar. The friar gives her a plan, essentially, that she'll take this potion. The potion will make it seem like she's dead, and then she'll be free to run off with Romeo, which he will facilitate. Then she goes back home, and she's super, I can't think of the word, contrite, and telling her dad how much how sorry she is and all of that kind of thing. So her dad's like, we will get married tomorrow. We'll have a wedding tomorrow. It'll be awesome. And so she kind of moves up her timeline, which in turn causes all kinds of issues because Romeo hasn't gotten the letter from the friar yet. So she takes the potion. Everybody thinks she's dead. Her parents start mourning. Why are they mourning? They're sad because their daughter died, but also they're kind of sad because she had she had promised to marry Paris at that point, and they were losing a compliant child. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about there. But so she's dead, everybody's mourning, and we know that Romeo has not gotten the letter because they moved the time frame up a day. So that's where we were at the end of Act 4. Act 5 is going to start with Romeo. So if you guys have questions, please make sure you're talking to me. Shoot me an email. Give me some communication, guys. Again, you have the materials post. You have the materials with the readings and the videos. Get that done by Friday or by Wednesday, please. And then you have the take-home final, which will be due on Friday. Okay, and I will probably post some sort of like a question or something, just so I can get some feedback from you guys. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend and are looking at a pretty awesome week. Yay! Have a good day.